What's happening? Welcome back to another scooter video. We're on a bit of a roll with this now. I think we've hit a little bit of a milestone as well. I think it's the whole front end is now completely welded as of today. So yeah, we haven't got a lot left to do before we can start artwork. Time wise, there is a fair few days left before we can start artwork because of like drying times and stuff, but yeah, in actual terms of doing stuff, it should progress quite quickly now. So what we've done today, which I will show you now, is, like I said at the end of the last video, we needed to weld the horn casing on, so that's been done. And what I've actually done as well is add a brace. I think I did mention that I was going to I put a brace by there. Didn't film me doing any of that. So yeah, the horn casing just plug welded where I punched some holes into it and then seam welded it so it looks like it's one piece with that. I'm not sure whether that was meant to have been done or not, or whether there was meant to be a seam there, I don't know, but that's what I've done. And then the brace, what I actually done is used, I don't know what flipping gauge it is, I'm not an expert on thickness of steels, or steel thicknesses, but it's thicker than what this is made out of anyway. So what I did is put it in the vise and fold it over. I made a template first out of cardboard with the shape I needed, and after I bent this in half, it took a couple of goes mine to get it how I wanted it. I then applied the template to my folded over piece, cut it out, belt sanded it a little bit, and then we welded it in. So we just need to tidy up the welds on there now. Filled, I think that was the hole for the spare wheel, and there was another one behind that as well. And I cut the ignition barrel off as well, because obviously it ain't going to be used. So we filled that in. So that needs to be ground flat, and also this stuff on here as well. Once we've done that, every weld needs a wire wheel, because in scientific terms that I don't really understand, the welding process itself actually creates moisture.
Yes, science!
So to counteract that, you wire wheel all the welds, so then that gets rid of that. Any bare metal that doesn't have corrosion on it needs a sand with some 80 grit, and then we can epoxy primer it. And we need to sand it because otherwise the epoxy primer will flake off. And if you're wondering why we do it with epoxy, is because, well, I think there is some others, but it's the most common or most readily available primer that is non-porous, so that means it doesn't absorb moisture. So if you were to just put like etch primer or high build or something on it, then they act like a sponge and absorb moisture, so you don't want that. Again, I've probably got about 50 quid's worth of metal all in my, I was going to say my hair then, on my head. I've wire wheeled it all, I've put the DA all over the metal, roughed it up, yeah, wire wheeled all the welds, got rid of all that flipping weird corrosion from the plastic polythene bag that was wrapping the new leg shield. Ground down all the welds, yeah, basically got everything ready for epoxy, so let's get it in the booth. I've got to navigate the minefield that is my unit now without hitting anything. have to figure out now how I'm going to epoxy the bottom and all that at the same time.
A few moments later.
Not the safest of ways of perching a scooter body, I think. It'll flipping do. At least I can get to the bottom and all front and underneath there and everything all at the same time. Okay, blown all the dust off, so now best to get some degreaser on there, because obviously I've been handling it without gloves on.
Hey baby.
And whatever oils and moisture and dirt and stuff that I've had on my hands, we don't want that underneath our first primer layer, do we? Degreasing flipping ground metal is a twat. It is proper dodgy on here, fair play. Time for some epoxy, I think. Epoxy primer. Now, stuff I got comes in a, what is this, 25 litre is it? 25 litre. I don't know why I'm rolling my sleeves up for. I don't want primer up my sleeve. Ah, let's do it. Proper flipping potent this stuff. I should probably have a mask on. This is by Seconds, I think it is. It's pretty good stuff. Been using it for a number of years now. Takes a while to go off, but once it does go off, it's really good. Excuse my messy workstation. I normally let it get to the point where I can't do anything on it, and then I'll tidy it up. Come back out here, I reckon, because it's flipping the fumey in there. So yeah, we'll get some of this on there now. Probably 3 coats, leave it about 10 minutes in between each coat. That's 3 coats of epoxy done. Gonna let that to dry overnight now, and yeah, we'll just have a look at it in the morning. But I'll probably leave it, like I said, tomorrow as well, until the following day to start sanding it, so it can take some filler. And I appear to have got epoxy all over my camera as well. It's all over the screen and the lens, so yeah, I don't think I should have left it where I did when I was spraying it. Oh well. Right, there it is. It's all in epoxy now. Luke's welding in the background if you're wondering what that noise is. So now we got to sand this down in order to take some body filler, because if you don't sand it down it'll fall off. So it does need quite a bit, because where we've welded and where I got to grind all the flipping weird rust that was on the front of it, that all needs a skim now. So yeah, a little bit by there, and then it's like down there really, and then all along there I think. And remember I said I had to cut that well, to make it bend, it needs a bit by there. Can't remember if I said now, but that was meant to be left. It wasn't meant to be seam welded, but we've done it anyway. So yeah, that needs a skimmer filler as well. It'll probably be 180 grit, just enough for it to the filler to stick to. That's ready. Get some filler now. Let's get some mud on it. Getting to the end of the tip filler is just a little bit dry. Filler's dry, so let's start sanding it down. I love sanding. Right, sanding is finished, so it's back in the booth. I've blown the dust off, and now we're ready for some high build primer. Looking a bit better now. Now that we put a bit of filler on there, you know, hid all the dodgy welds that we did around the edge of this flipping panel. Anyway, it's never going to be perfect. I'm not a scooter restorer. To be honest, I haven't really got a clue what I'm doing. I mean, I know how to line things up on a car and weld them, but yeah, I've never done one of these before, so I wouldn't pay me to do what I've done here anyway. Pay me to do the artwork on it once that's done. But yeah, it's as good as it can be for, you know, for what it is. I mean, we used a flipping window panel out of a flipping Renault Traffic van there to make that centerpiece. It'll do. So now, basically gotta sand this all down now once it's dry tomorrow with some 400 grit. If there's any remaining pinholes, we gotta fill them first. I can see a couple there. We'll fill them, and yes, guide coated black first, and then sand it down with a bit of 400 grit. Right, that's all prepped, all sanded with 400 grit. So I've just degreased it. Again, we don't need to mask anything up on it. It doesn't matter if the flipping white goes up, over there. I have blown it off so none of the dust lands in it. Yeah, so now just a couple of coats of gloss white. that's the painting done, so now we gotta let it dry overnight and see what it looks like in the morning. I'm not overly happy with it. I was using the dregs of what paint I had left in the cupboard, basically, from when I was doing body shop work. I used 2K paint, so you just have to mix it with hardener, and I only had 2 little tins left of it, so I used that up, and it wasn't quite enough. So then I had to dig around, and I found some more, which was left over from some respray in a 5-litre tin. God knows how long it had been in there, so it had gone a bit gooey. So I mixed that up and sprayed that on. That was the 3rd coat, and I immediately regretted it because it was well, it went on like flipping primer, thick as hell, like really speckly. So I was like, oh, flipping heck. So the 4th coat, then I had to put thinners in it and yeah, thin it out so it was more watery, and that one went on okay then. But when they say it's got orange peel in it, well, this has it's got flipping pineapple peel probably. But it don't matter, it's gonna get sanded down in it, ready for artwork. It just means it's gonna be a bit more of a pain in the ass to sand it down. Right, it's the next day, let's have a look at it. I haven't even been in here yet, so what my reaction is like, that's what it's, you know, that's genuine. I painted something by there, that's not too bad. It's better than I thought. I thought it was going to be like pineapple peel, but yeah, it's quite a thick orange peel. But yeah, that's alright. At least there's plenty on there. Yeah. If I was painting a customer's scooter like this, which I don't do anymore anyway, but yeah, I'd be flattening that down and flow coating it again if I fucked it up like that, to be honest. But I probably wouldn't have done that in the first place anyway, because I would have bought paint for it and it would have been nice in the tin. So there you are. Anyway, so next thing we gotta do is sand it down, and that's pretty much the last thing now. I'm just gonna sand it down by hand with some 400 grit dry. I'll probably whiz over it again then with some 500, and any bits that I can't get to with the sandpaper, I'll use red scotch on it. Sand it until there's no orange peel left and nothing shiny. Right, that's that bit done. You gotta keep flipping ducking and diving and all that to see if you can catch the light shining on it, see if you've missed any bits. Okay, we're finally in the studio. I don't think we've been in the studio on this channel yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, this is where the magic happens. I feel like we got a lot done in this video on the old scoot. Especially for the length of the time that this video is. It's one of my shorter ones. Yeah, she's ready for artwork. Now I've got to plan out my layout, my image, my design. I've got one. It'll just be tweaked a little bit now. But yeah, I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. You have to wait until the next video, possibly. Whether I choose to unveil it before the rest of the scooter is done or not, I don't know. But yeah, that's the, well, from there forward now is all back in one piece. Although, yeah, it is Trigger's broom. So, yeah, we made a new middle piece. We put a brace in there, put all the original braces back in. Entire new leg shield, flushed the lock off, just cut out all the rust of it, epoxied it, filled it, primed it, painted it. I'm not sure whether anyone is thinking this, but it's crossed my mind once or twice, because you could kind of say that I have now Viet bodged this, because obviously it's had a fuckload of welding and a bit of filler work and that, but at least it's had, well, at least it's been put together in some sort of shape. It's not too bad, and it's had epoxy primer to protect it. All the rust is now gone, whereas when the Viet bodges, they were just leaving rust in there. So yeah, the rust is gone, it's protected. What I've done now should last, so to speak, and I'm gonna put cavity wax down there as well before I paint the bottom at a later date. I am gonna put some kind of drain hole in there somewhere, so to let the when I cavity wax it, so it just doesn't get filled up with a litre of wax, to let it out. You couldn't call this a restoration because it's nowhere near what it should be like to look at. So yeah, it's bodged in some kind of sense, because obviously I've flipping made that section by hand, but we weren't going to the trouble of making it OEM, were we? And back to normal, because it's a pile of shit to begin with. So yeah, I'm just trying to convince myself. You probably don't give a shit, do you? It's miles better than what it came in as, isn't it? That's all that matters. And yeah, it'll look funky by the end of it. I'm flipping rambling now. Click on the subscribe button. Any questions, pop them in the comments. Any input, I'd love to hear it. Pop it in there. Come on, let's get some comments going. Peace out.